For many people, 60 represents freedom. It represents choice. It represents finally having the time to enjoy everything you've worked so hard to build. But there are things to consider before making the move. And like any major transition in life, the question is not simply, can I do it? But rather, am I ready for everything that comes with it? My name is Peter Guidote, Chartered Accountant and Certified Financial Planner at CG Wealth Management. And in this video, we will go through 5 important questions to ask yourself if you're seriously considering retirement at 60. So let's get started. Question 1. Do I know what my annual retirement expenses will actually be? This is where the conversation needs to begin. A lot of people focus first on how much they have saved. But before you can know whether retirement at 60 makes sense, you need to know what retirement is actually going to cost you. Housing, travel, food, insurance, healthcare, unexpected costs. Some expenses go down in retirement, some stay the same, and some even go up. And when your expense expectations are off, your whole plan can feel off. So before you ask whether 60 is possible, ask yourself this: do I really understand what my retirement lifestyle is going to cost me each year? Because if the answer is no, then that's the first place to start. Where will my income come from once I stop working? When you're working, income is usually pretty straightforward. You get paid, you budget, and then you save, and life moves forward. But retirement changes the rhythm. Now income may come from several different places. Likely, some of it comes from your portfolio or your registered accounts, maybe some from a pension, and some from government benefits like CPP, QPP, or OAS. And all of this is important because not all income sources behave the same way. Government pensions, such as CPP and QPP, are guaranteed, but they still need to be part of a larger plan. Some depend on markets, many are taxable, and some more than others. So the question is not, will I have income? The better question is, where exactly will my income come from once I stop working? If all your retirement cash flow depends on one source, that creates pressure. But when income is coordinated properly, retirement starts to feel more stable and a lot less stressful. How much will I need to pay taxes in retirement? Now, this is one of the most overlooked questions in retirement planning. Retirement income can create a tax bill, and in some cases, a larger one than people expect. So why is that? Well, it's because different accounts and income sources are taxed differently. And if withdrawals are not coordinated properly, you can end up paying more tax than necessary. It's not about whether you'll pay tax in retirement. The answer is often yes, of course. But the better question is, how much will I need to pay in taxes in retirement, and how can I optimize my income in the most tax-efficient way? Now, each decision matters and cannot be made in isolation. RSP withdrawals, government pensions like CPP or QPP are both taxable as income, for example. And if you make a large RSP withdrawal in a given year, where you have other taxable sources of income such as CPP or QPP, it may bump you up into a higher tax bracket without you realizing. When retirement income is planned thoughtfully, taxes can be managed, and retirement is too important to leave that to chance. Am I making the right timing decisions with CPP, QPP, OAS, and my accounts? This is where retirement planning becomes much more than a checklist. Should you start CPP, QPP at 60, 65, or delay until later? Should you delay old age security? When should you start drawing from your registered accounts? These are all good questions, but the key is this: they should not be answered separately, because each of these timing decisions affects the others. Taking CPP or QPP earlier may help with short-term cash flow, but it also means lower payments for life. Delaying OAS may make sense in one situation, but not in another. Drawing from one account too early or too late can affect taxes, government benefits, and portfolio longevity. Question 5. Am I prepared for what retirement will really look like day to day? Now, for some, this may be the most difficult question of them all. Waking up the next morning and knowing what you're moving towards during your working years may be comforting for some And retirement, in its most common definition, may cause more stress than you would expect. How will you spend your time? What will give your days structure? What will give you energy, meaning, and purpose? And the truth is, retirement can be emotionally and mentally different from what people imagine. That's why the final question matters so much. Retirement preparation is about building a life you actually want to live. One that feels meaningful, one that feels sustainable, and one that still feels like you. If you're looking for a structured way to think this through, we walk you through this in a more detailed video on redefining retirement, which we will have link in the description below. This video is about a workbook that may help you step back and define what a fulfilling, purpose-driven retirement actually looks like for you, and then start building towards it with clarity. So, are you ready to retire at 60? Well, if you need help answering this question and want a little bit more clarity, feel free to book a free 30-minute consultation with a member of our team using the QR code on the screen or by clicking the link in the description below. What we do is build structured financial plans that help our clients understand how ready they are to retire, looking at their income, their taxes, their timing decisions, and how everything fits together. So remember to be kind to yourselves and to others, and I'll see you in our next video.